What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Malt Frazier. We here after a great victory, man. Alabama versus Louisiana Monroe. The Tide bounced back with a masterful masterclass performance. 73-0, and this is exactly what we wanted to see, right? Uh look, I don't care about it being Louisiana Monroe. It was never about the opponent this week. Faceless opponent. Today was about execution. It was about our mentality. It was about really just approaching the game from the right standpoint. Guys playing hard, running to the football, finishing plays, finishing blocks, running hard routes, right? And just, also just having fun out there. Like when we do something good, like, high five your brother. And we saw a lot of that, guys clapping each other up, pause, just supporting each other, right? Like just being happy for their brother making plays and that was really good to see. So, you know, I think we saw what we needed to see today as far as responding to what happened last week, responding to, just all the critique that has been out there in the media. I mean, you know, everybody's talking about Coach DeBoer's buyout and all this stuff. And obviously, I don't think that's a good idea just because simply, if you got 70 million to pay a coach to not coach, then that 70 million in today's era should probably be going towards NIL. But anyways, I really just thought we got off to a great start from the opening drive, right? The offense came out and really set the tone. The offensive line, I think we kind of established a little bit of an identity today, right? Like we're a physical team up front, with Cam Dewberry and Caden Proctor, Parker, Brailsford, Gino and Wilkin Formby, that starting unit really did a nice job. Jaden Roberts got in there a little bit. We saw Mike Carroll, Big Mike. It was good to see him in there. So I think we really just did a good job establishing ourselves early on. And then the way we ran the ball, Kevin Riley. I mean, this kid's got some burst. And he runs hard, That first drive, he popped that first run for, 15 plus and just finished the run well. And I thought Richard Young did a really nice job in the, pass block game on that first drive as well. He cleaned up somebody, put them on their back, and we finished the drive, set the tone to start the game. And so, it was really beautiful to see the offense run at such a high clip. I mean, I don't even think we had an incompletion until the third quarter, 42 zip at halftime. And, we did what we were supposed to do. But it was more so about just, playing to our standard, right? Like, um, so, kudos to the team. They should feel really good about this win. And this is something really good to build on. Um, we got some good things rolling in the past game. I thought Ty Simpson played great. He was 17 for 17 today. Let's pull up this box score actually. So, yeah, so Ty Simpson, 17 for 17, 226 yards, three touchdowns, right? And he just ran the offense well. He made, really accurate throws. And I thought he did a good job of like moving up in the pocket and making some throws. Just saw some progression from him from first week to second week in this one for sure. Um, and I think, again, this offensive line has the potential to be great. When you talk about what we might look like toward, mid to end season form, they show the potential to be able to have some elite traits, I would say, just physical. Did a really good job of pulling our guards today. Did a good job, in pass pro. Um, and so we'll see, obviously, as we continue to build back up into, higher level competition next week with Wisconsin and then Georgia, how we continue to evolve. But, I liked what I saw today from, the physicality standpoint and really just being the more dominant team. Josh Cuevas, I might be pronouncing his name a little bit wrong. I think it's Josh Cuevas. Our tight end, man, he is a baller. This dude is nasty in the block game. He's an asset in the pass game for sure. So I'm excited for, his season because he's off to a great start. He was really good against Florida State as well. So, Josh Cuevas was Um, I think going to be kind of like a secret weapon, so to speak, for us. I mean, he's going to be a impact guy for us. So shout out to him. And then let's see. I thought it was really great to see so many different players play, right? Like Lacier Brooks, Rico Scott. We both got to see both of them, and they looked really good. Lacier Brooks had a little burst, um, and he caught some nice contested passes as well. Rico Scott made some plays. Like we saw Isaiah Horton get in there and make some plays. So, it was good to see those guys probably build some confidence today. We go down to the receivers, and we've got Jeremy Bernard. I mean, dude, they actually robbed him of a touchdown. I feel like they called a offensive pass interference, but 4 catches, 109 yards, and 3 touchdowns. And just, well-rounded game from the squad. And then Kenyon Riley, man, this guy, I mean, he caught some really great passes out the backfield. 6 catches for 45 yards for him there. And then, he ran the ball really well too. But man, he showed off some really good hands today as well. So, I think that's gonna be a really great asset for us as well. So, shout out to the offense. And then on defense, man, look, it says a lot for us to go out there and to shut somebody out regardless of the opponent. To put the big zero on the board after last week's performance, I think is huge from a confidence building standpoint, but also just like, you know, it shows we want to dominate, like the players are today they played to that standard, right? You didn't see guys loafing. You saw guys, uh, I mean, just laying pat. I mean, Drake Kirkpatrick Jr., my goodness, man, he was all over the field when he was in there. Keon Sabb was out there, running around. Um, I liked what I saw from James Smith, Deontay Pierre. We played the game the right way. We had a lot of guys running to the football. We talk about being that swarm defense, and today we looked like it, so forced a couple turnovers. And so, we're gonna take this performance, man, feel good about it, and I think, we go into next week with some confidence and we build on that against Wisconsin. Um, this team. I think is much better than what we showed last week. And, we'll have a chance to continue to prove that as the year goes on. But, today's a great building block for, the rest of the season. And so I love that the coaches rotated a lot of players and they got that competition thing really rolling because I thought we saw a lot of great play at a lot of positions. Austin Mack looked pretty good when he was in the game. Keelan Russell looked really good at quarterback. We saw a whole bunch of receivers play, so I thought most of those guys looked really good. Caleb Edwards also stood out to me earlier in the game. I think like the first few drives, man. So this will be good. We're gonna need these guys. We're gonna need to have an advantage with our depth against teams later in the year. And this is good, man. This is something we can definitely build on and feel good about. We did a lot of things right. Uh, didn't have as many penalties today, and I think a few of the penalties were kind of suspect anyway. But yeah. Also, a couple standout players, definitely Drake Kirkpatrick Jr. with the second unit. Kevin Riley was a beast again today, and QB Reese, man, linebacker, with the second and third unit, he really stood out to me, just kind of playing physical, finishing plays. So, we looked really strong today. Um, and also something I noticed was Kane Womack, his dad, Dave Womack is, a legendary defensive coordinator. And I think he either invented the defense we run, the 4-2-5, or he was one of the great masterminds for it. But I've seen Dave Womack on the sideline at our games before, but I've never seen him like giving signals to players. And so that's something I noticed today. Like he was giving signals from the sideline to somebody when they zoomed in on Kane Womack. And so I guess it's all hands on deck. So I just thought that was interesting. But you know, I thought our approach and mentality was great from top to bottom. The coaching staff never seemed satisfied. Um, it was just like we here to work, another day at the office. We were going for it on fourth downs, right? Like that was the mentality. Like we going for it all. And that's the mentality we gotta have every week. So, enjoy this, fellas. Roll Tide, great win today. And I'll holla at y'all soon, man. All right, Malt Frazier out.